this team last year? Is there any take out of that as you prepare for this year's team? You know, a little bit of different team, but a lot of still the same personnel that you have to face Tuesday.
Yeah. So first quarter out there, they really punched us in the mouth. It was 24-8. I think they missed like 3 shots the entire quarter. I think we hit 3. Second quarter was 18-16. Third quarter we lost by 5 points, and then the fourth quarter it was 27-10. Put a lot of our young babies there in at the end. If we can play like the second and third quarter, that would be great. You know, we got to handle the pressure. Honestly, like, yeah, we have the film and all that, and they're the same team, but we are not. Spider is here. Kenna is here. Am I missing somebody? Sophie didn't play in that game, right? So, you know, it'll be something new for everybody, but you know, they are the best team in the country for a reason, and you know, we've played some pretty damn good teams so far.
What do you think Lana and KP are gonna, you know, be able to do with Lauren Betts that you really didn't have last year to kind of limit her?
I think anybody who has had the answer to that, I don't think that anybody has, right? You know, they're a little bit taller than Caitlin, but you know, Caitlin had 4 years of playing experience and, you know, actually did use her body pretty well. The only thing that these two have are a little bit taller, right? They're a little bit longer, but you know, she is all of 6'8". She moves really well. She posts really hard, puts a lot of pressure on you. So, you know, I think those two will have a unique challenge in front of them. And on the perimeter, we've got to do our job to make sure we're helping them out as much as we can.
Just keeping this team's confidence up.
Yeah.
How have you gone about that?
Yeah. You know, it's been, you know, we're 7-7, 6 losses to, you know, teams in the top 25. Just trying to keep everything in perspective. You know, obviously the Middle Tennessee game, you know, wasn't ideal for us. It's one with, you know, you go back and we play them now. I think we're in a better position. We're a little bit more ready for that kind of game. But let's see. Let's go through it. South Carolina, Notre Dame. I don't know that. You know, I always tell our group, like, I'll be brutally honest with you. I don't know that we can beat those guys. You know, it would take a very, very perfect game. So those two. Let's see who else we got. Kentucky here, who is smashing everybody. It doesn't matter who they're playing; they're still smashing them. Let's see, that's 3 ranked teams. Who else we got? Iowa, Michigan State, and Maryland at home, right? Okay, so Maryland at home, let's use perspective here. You know, Maryland at home, playing to a 4-point game with 2.5 minutes to go. Pretty good, right? Just don't finish it. And ultimately, that's on us. You know, at Iowa, not one person on our team had been in front of 15,000 fans in Iowa City before. It's an 8-point game with 13 minutes to go. We don't finish it off. At Michigan State, you know, they have 2 losses on the year, and we walked into their house after both of those losses. Punched in the mouth at the very beginning of the game. Didn't have a chance. Battled back in the second half. Won the second half. So, like, when you just look about perspective, right? It all in how you look at it. Do we have 7 losses? Yes, but what can we take from those games and try to keep piecing them together and still believing that we are getting better? That's a very long-winded answer, but that's a lot of the communication we've had, you know, with each other. A lot of brutally honest conversations, and you know, this team has worked.
Coach, I mean, if there's a silver lining, it's the fact that, you know, you've had stretches, you've had, you know, minutes, multiple minutes where you've, you know, stayed with these teams. It's just about maintaining and sustaining. I think, you know, South Carolina was one of those games where, you know, you started off well defensively, and but, you know, how do you kind of just, you know, piece those 5 or 6 minutes and turn them into something long term?
It's got to be a 40-minute game. You know, we're not naive to that. We understand the challenges in front of us. You know, I told our group the other day, it's like, you know, you when you go to the grocery store and someone doesn't put their cart back in the rack, right? Like, we're not the team to not put our cart back in the rack. Not only do we have to put ours back, we need to probably make sure everything else is in line and in order to give ourselves the best chance. And so like it's all the little things, right? All the small details, every single possession, and understanding how much they matter. It's not just throwing your cart into the rack, it's getting it organized and ready to go for when the next person that comes in, they have their job ready to do it. So, it's that and us learning, and we have stretches, where we look really, really good, and then all of a sudden, Iowa goes on a 13-0 run at their place to finish instead of down, 8 or 10 to start the fourth quarter, we're down 21. And that was in about a span of 2.5 minutes. It's about holding on to, turnovers put us in a bad spot. A lot of crappy shots put us in a bad spot to get out in transition. Those two things we got to continue to do better at. And I know our record doesn't show it, but I truly believe we're getting better.
At least these last two games, you've had to play uphill because you've gotten behind in the first quarter. How do you flip that? How do you not get punched in the mouth early in the game?
Got to be nasty to start the game. I think we've been too little bit lackadaisical or too little soft to start the game. We got to be nasty. We got to be dirty. We got to be tough, physical. Like we've got to be able to keep punching, and not just take punches. And it's a fun challenge tomorrow against the number one team in the country, and the growth will come from us if you see us come out punching, right? Like, and maybe it doesn't mean we have, we won the quarter, but maybe it means you see a little bit different fight for us to start the game. And we'll try to play tomorrow in like little 5-minute increments, and we've got 4 goals in 5 minutes, and ultimately maybe at the end of 8 little 5-minute increments, we give ourselves a chance. The only way you can do it.
Do you like your matchup defensively, going up against Gabrielle Jaquez and Kiki Rice, like with where
Who wants to guard that?
I know you don't, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, you just,
honestly, Kiki Rice is elite in transition, and I've never seen anybody run the wing the way 11 does. She's a gazelle out there, runs like no one I've ever seen. So, no bad shots, no bad turnovers, no block shots. Like that all leads to transition buckets with them. And we had 19 turnovers last year at their place. They had 26 points off of our turnovers. We just, it's a fun challenge. Like we're back in Mackey, and our group will fight. Our group will fight.